Hello, YouTube. So I just want to, explain. I am enjoying my 2026, and that's something you have to, really take into consideration. It's a part of my 30. 2026 is a part of my 30. Now, one thing that's very important, is that I tried, watching the criticism of, the Yu Yu Hakusho video, and the Mama Chichi video. But when I looked at the Asagiri Gid, the A and B first, the poker face was so strong that I couldn't watch the other two, okay? So it's not a joke, okay? So I only yelled a little bit yesterday explaining that you had, I repeat, you had standard freshman year hanging out with the skateboarders, wearing Vans, but you didn't have standard all the way to teal, which is where you get the mental condition. I said specifically, to the people that you wore purple. So how can you wear purple and crumble by the time you wear teal? Okay, that's very important, And when I explained, social intuition, and it was quite simple, I was doing something advanced without simple. That's why when it came to people like Tiffany, Justin Wiseman, they knew each other ever since first grade. Okay, And let's not get into that. Let's get into, I have to, report my bars on YouTube. You guys see my Boruto bars today. Happy Friday. All right. So, Lelouch and Truth are completely blank on the score. Okay. So if they come back, it's a coincidence. Now, when they go into the, iPad, I can tell that's a girl hacking them. Okay. So, what's gonna end up happening is I recorded my thing on Audacity, and I figured out in round one, the arrow is trying to get you, it's just food to get you into 150. Marshall let me know that, there's going to be no crowd reactions because they're going to close their mind, okay? But I checked on Audacity, literally, it sounded just like Mihawk. So, the truth of the matter is, okay, I can't upload, I mean, I'm going to upload, but, I can't battle because that was a prime indicator lately. So now it's a whole case. Now that I tested it on Audacity, it's the whole Chris Brown. So now I know they're not gonna give me the opportunity. Okay, but there's more than that. Okay, so I have to wait for a bigger visual. And like I said, gang members are monsters. You can't be on the game 24/7 when you're focused on everything in life. Okay, I was supposed to go way further, but anyway, I'm gonna say it, New Park Mall, where I was at last time, not Thorn, I'm at the same location, but what ends up happening, right, as I walk, two pillars lately, because Isaiah taught me how I walk from the Park Mall all the way to my house, right, and then I found a shortcut, back when I was fucking, with the X-Men crew. So what happened was, I went for a long walk yesterday, missed all Pro TV in order to get a necessary workout. But, what ends up happening is I could barely do 10 steps, yesterday. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to, finish the workout today, with more than 100 or something. And then, within doing so, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a day, literally, and boom, literally, Chris literally got the game on Tuesday. Now we're fresh and ready. Okay, this is serious shit. Lately, I had to buy a new deodorant stick, because all the other ones are fucking used. And I heard the Echo Dot could have died, and what that means is those are chemicals that are old and wasted that can infect you. Okay, and it's stupid. It's completely fucking stupid. I used to literally fucking floss my teeth, literally did mouth rinse, literally like a mob boss. I have my fucking bitches do the same. It's not cool. But the truth of the matter is this, okay. I don't care about round two just yet. I'm just explaining, what you need to do is go watch 3 videos, okay? The one that's talking about my favorite anime of all time, back when anime had choreography and something else, because it's bullshit, literally, to have me watching Tenkaichi, it's like something clean, like somebody in a fight, while everybody's contemplating their life and still being a virgin, okay? That's not cool, all right? Because I called out, something actually amazing. And what's the funny thing is they sneak in something actually amazing when I want to see my anime. That's why I called them out, like literally, if I see my anime, that means I'm at a standard, you're trying to make the same statement. That's why I talk shit. I'm like, yo, playing watching little literally happy, butters, this and that. Just recognize that you're making the same statement. And they pretend that it's not, alright? I told them for the 1,000th time. That's why you get a retort, you know, in order to ignore my statement, because a normal person has to recognize my punch, okay? So, in doing so, one thing you need to realize quickly, I forgot to say on YouTube, is, I saw, Liliana, not the one at school, but, the one from my year, literally her butt, coming out of my car back when I was doing this shit with Paige, all right? Earlier on this year, when I was still 30, and that is, a halfway thing from NASA that I don't like. But my car at 30, from the story, ever since I was young, ever since I was in 9th grade, her butt was right there, all right? So I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if that's fucking anything, but, that's not a real fucking car. But that's, a product of your environment. That's like Primo TV, fucking, fans made it, a whole bunch of Mexicans, a whole bunch of, Indians, a whole bunch of Asian fans, made it. But guess what was happening? It was your idea, and it was your output, okay? So you didn't know that? That was all fucking true this year, okay? Now, there's a whole lot of things that I forgot to say in this video. So where I'm gonna go is I'm gonna go to the exact same location in Kids Rec beside another spot, because they're confusing me, and hopefully I'm coming home in time for my 4.5 friends, and there's going to be a whole lot more on YouTube, so I'm gonna stay, out.